guys, so today we're going to be doing an imaging session of the Rosette Nebula. I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of that, and we're going to be using our new 3nm hydrogen alpha, oxygen and sulfur narrowband filters to capture this object. I'm really excited to show you guys the final result, so let's go ahead and get started. So here I have my scope. This is a Skywatcher Esprit 100 ED 4-inch refractor. I have it on the top of a Skywatcher EQ6R Pro computer controlled mount. And then this has a QHY polar scope cam, and then I have my guide scope cam here. This is an ASI by ZWO ASI 290 with a ZWO 60mm guide scope. This is a ASI 1600 monochrome with a 8-position filter wheel attached to the scope with a focuser by this Italian company, Primus Lab. I can't say that right. Sesto Senso 2. They have good quality equipment that you can get. I have my Intel NUC here to control the mount. I can remote desktop into it and control it. It's a tiny computer that just fits right on top of my mount here. And ignore this tape. I made the mistake by taping this USB hub to this, but like it ended up over time the tape started falling apart, and now I can't even rip it off. So I gotta clean that off somehow. But it's working all right so far. But yeah, and then I have my dew heaters. These allow to prevent water dew from forming on the lenses. So this and this one here. So I can control each one individually. And this is obviously the power brick for this, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, down here I have the controller for the mount, which I don't really use much. I just set up basic stuff on it at first, and then I move over to the computer to control it. Power strip, very nice to have. And then here I actually have a power monitor, so it monitors how much watts this uses, and you can switch between different ones. I usually keep it at how many kilowatt hours just to see how much energy I use. So that's something that I'm trying to measure for that. It just comes in from the extension cord and feeds through into the power strip. So yeah, I just leave that there overnight, and it's gonna measure how much I use. And that's pretty much it for now. Next up, we have to wait for it to get dark and to polar align it. So I will be back when it gets dark. Okay everyone, so I am on my computer now. I also wanted to mention that you can now watch this video in HDR. I am trying out HDR for the first time, so you can go ahead and click the option in the bottom right corner of your window to check the resolution of the video. I think all options should be HDR, so let me know how it looks. Hopefully it looks great on your side. So yeah, I just want to let you know about that. Regarding my setup, I've just logged into my computer on my mount via remote desktop, and we're going to go ahead and open up our polar scope software so we can polar align our telescope. Okay, so we have our software open now, and we're going to go ahead and connect our equipment. Obviously it's still a little too light out, as you can see. It's still a little bright, but I think we can make do. You can see one of the tree branches in the bottom right there, but on the left I think that is Polaris. So we're going to go ahead and adjust our scope to align with Polaris. So give me 1 second here to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do our polar alignment. I already selected Polaris, which is right here. Now it says choose a star other than Polaris, and double click on it in the image. Remember the star and don't forget it. We're going to be using it in further steps. So we're going to go ahead and select this star right here where my mouse is. And we're going to go ahead and rotate the mount in the direction indicated. The person not on the screen. The screen's gonna look opposite, but in person it's gonna look, obviously I'm rotating it in the direction of that arrow. That finished. Double click the star again. Rotate the mount again. Finished. And now double click the star one last time. And now we're gonna roll it back to to park. So we're gonna go back to where it was before. We're gonna scroll all the way back to the park position on the mount, and make sure this star that I chose stays on the green line of the circle. And in that case, it definitely is. So that's good. Okay, so we're gonna hit correct. And double click Polaris again, and we're gonna make sure it matches up with this. Indeed it does. So we're gonna go ahead and hit success. And we're gonna use this to make Polaris go right here. We're going to adjust the mount axis to make Polaris go to the spinning circle where my mouse is. Okay, finished. Double click Polaris again. And make sure these dots line up, these circles line up with the stars around it. Okay, so that they do line up, so that's a success. And now we're gonna go ahead and start monitor, just to make sure. And that's pretty spot on, I'd say. So right now, I think that's it. We're gonna finish up. Now we're gonna go ahead and salute to the object and do some plate solving to make sure we're pointing at it, and we're gonna take our first photo. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open up our Sequence Generator Pro software. And I already have the sequence up. I was doing some stuff last night, so I am gonna be continuing that. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and connect our equipment. So we're gonna go ahead and connect everything here. And we're gonna make sure our camera's cooling. Indeed it is. Now we're gonna go ahead and slew. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and over here and hit settings. And we're gonna go ahead and hit center now. We are now slewing. It's gonna take reference image just to make sure everything is aligned and to plate solve. Okay, so it looks like we are on track. There is the core, the center cluster of stars right there is the core of the rosette. So it looks like I found it, and it's just making sure it has everything correct. Okay, so now that we have successfully plate solved and aligned with the rosette, here is my sequence. We're about to start it. I currently have hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur set up, and that's what we're going to be doing tonight. All of them, again, are 3 nanometer filters. You can watch the previous video on my channel of me installing them and talking a little about them. They are pretty good filters, and I am excited to get the final image. So I already have some progress in this sequence. I was doing some last night as well, but I decided to talk a little more about it today. So we're going to get a little more oxygen and sulfur, and we're going to get some more hydrogen. So let's go ahead and hit run sequence. It's going to start our auto guider, and it's going to focus our telescope to make sure we have the sharpest image. Okay, it's complete. It's going to start the auto guider. As we can see here, there's the beautiful sky. It's going to select the star and start guiding. And once it starts guiding, the exposures will start. We're about to see how our polar alignment is, how great. Oh, very good. 0.30s. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our sequence generator, and now it is integrating hydrogen alpha. So it's going to do 5 more exposures of hydrogen alpha, and then it's going to move to oxygen and then sulfur. So I'm going to let it run, and I will be back when it's almost complete to do a quick recap on what happened throughout the night. Okay everyone, so it looks like we just hit the trees. It is now 12:06 in the morning, and it's been like 3 hours, and it's been a good session of imaging. Yeah, so as you can see on the guide scope, we just hit the trees. The sequence is paused. I also got through most of my sequence, actually all of my sequence, and I was actually extending it by probably about 15 to 20 minutes on sulfur, just so I can get a little more data on that. But I never got to finishing the oxygen that I extended it, because I kind of over anticipated how far this was going to go. And yeah, so I think that's going to be it for tonight. I will try to find another object to image, possibly, but I don't think so because it's galaxy season and I want to do nebulas, but I can't. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight, and I will update you on what happens in the morning. So the next morning, I never ended up recording, and I just kind of put my stuff away because I was so excited to start editing my data. But basically what happened that night, or the past 2 nights of that, was that the Rosette was setting around 1 a.m. And that's just mainly because it's going into galaxy season and the Rosette's generally up more in the winter. So if it was earlier in the year, I probably would have gotten more data, but I got around 5.5 to 6 hours of data total, which I think it's just plenty in my opinion. You're gonna see in the image at the end of this video. But yeah, that's basically what happened, and it went really well. Also, if you have any questions about astrophotography or even beginner astrophotography, just feel free to leave a comment. I will do the best of my ability to answer that question for you. I'm always willing to help people out and give advice. So now the moment you've all been waiting for, here is my image of the Rosette Nebula. Enjoy.